Hi everybody and welcome back to some more MXGP2, and this is part number 6 of our career walkthrough here on this game. Now in today's races we are in Argentina and it's another intermediate ground surface. Plus guys, I've been reading all your comments and I'm going to show that I listen to you. We're not going to use any more rewinds. We've got rid of rewinds, so if I fall off, I fall off. Plus guys, I've had a few of you ask me to drive in first person view. So we're going to do one race in normal chase view and then the second race in first person view, and I have not done any races in that view yet, so it's going to be a real challenge. I cannot wait. Now this is the circuit that we're on today. It looks absolutely brilliant. Hopefully this will be another good race and another real challenge, so let's get straight into qualifying and hopefully get a decent time. So here we go. Right, so here we are on qualifying, and yeah, this is quite a decent circuit. It hasn't got many long straights. It's got loads of medium-sized jumps, and it's got some really tight corners where there's going to be a lot of contact with other bikes around the corners, but I'm going to have to be really careful on this one. I'm trying to get a decent position in qualifying. I haven't managed to put a decent lap in yet, but yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. And I said that, I've fallen off. Oh, God. But yeah, like I said at the start of the video, no more rewinds. I haven't gone to the options and turned them off yet. I will do that in the next race, but I'm not going to use any, don't you worry. So if I come off, we're just going to have to start where we fall off. But let's see if we can get a decent lap in. So the first position's got 1:39.5. Let's see if we can beat that. We want at least to get at least in the top 5 if we can. But I've also feel that a few of you have asked me to just crack it up to realistic. What I might do is we do this race, and if we do really well in this one, we're just going to go for it and put it on realistic, and we'll just leave it on that. And yeah, because you just want it to be as tough as possible, and I don't want you to feel like this is really easy, because it really isn't. I mean, it's actually quite hard on this level, but I like to push myself. So if we up the level, we up the level. So we still haven't put a decent time into. That was a 1:42. God, that was way off the pace. We're going to have to do a lot better than that. So let's see if we can do a better lap here. But this course is not bad. I mean, we're lucky so far. A lot of them are quite easy to learn. I haven't got too many tough sections on. But in the last race, that one had a lot of long straights where you had the opportunity to catch up. This one you haven't. It's like it's quite tight, so I can see this one being quite a close race. I can't see me pulling away too much in this one if I get in the lead. Let's see if we can get a decent place on the grid first. Let's stay on the bike this time. Yeah, just managed to stay on. I'm getting better at the jumps as well. I'm getting a greater distance, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And if you like motorbike games, you definitely try this one out. I mean, I've only really I've obviously MotoGP, Ride, Drive Club bikes, but this is the first time I've ever played a motocross game. I didn't play the first MXGP, and I am absolutely loving it. So, I mean, it's a bit challenging at first, but once you've got the hang of the way the bikes go, and how to do all the different brakes, obviously having 2 buttons for your brakes and the clutch and all that stuff, and how you do the different jumps and transferring the weight, it's quite enjoyable, and it's a challenging game. But let's see if this lap time's better. And oh bloody hell, that was a quick lap. So we get a 1:37.8. I think that might get us first position on the grid. So let's jump into the pit and just forward the time on. God, I didn't realise I was going that quick. That was a really good time. Right, let's just forward it on. See if anyone catches up. No, still over a second and 0.6 faster than everyone else. Oh my God, that was a quick clap. See what I mean? This is what makes me feel that I need to put it on realistic, but I expect the race is still going to be tough. Right, so like I said, we're going to do the first race in normal chase view, and then the second one's going to be in first person view for the first time. It's going to be comical, but let's get straight into the first race. Here we go. Right, so here we go with this first race. So we got first in qualifying, so we got the inside line, so hopefully we can get a good start and get into that first corner in the lead. This is going to be quite a tough race because it's quite a tight circuit. There's not many long straights, so we're going to want to get in front. So let's see if we can dump the clutch at the right time. We've done all right with the start so far, and that was a bit not great. I just dumped it a little bit too late there. That's the first time that's happened to me so far in this championship, but let's just stay with the front runners. We're in P8. Let's try and go around the outside here, take a few more around this corner, and that's not a bad line. I've jumped up to P5, but as long as we stay with the front runners, we should be alright. We definitely were quite fast in qualifying, and if we can do those sort of lap times, we should be okay in this race. God, that wasn't a bad corner, and we've jumped up to P2 now, so we're going to try and chase down the leader. But the only thing that I'm mainly worried about in this race today is falling off. I mean, I did fall off quite a few times around this circuit in qualifying, and yeah, it wasn't actually falling off. I went off course a few times, which isn't always too bad, because when you go off course, it resets you pretty quickly where you go off course and you don't lose too many places. It's just when you crash, it takes that little bit longer to reset, because we're not using rewinds, and you do lose a few places. But hopefully I will stay on the bike in this race. But I've definitely decided to put this on realistic in the next race. I do always like to keep on bumping up the level. Even on my ride series and the MotoGP, we always start on a level which we find comfortable to get ourselves into the game, get used to the controls and stuff, and once we've done that, we put it up to the maximum level just to make it really challenging and make it more competitive, and that's where you start pushing yourself more and you get better at the game. I hope you understand, and I hope that's what you like to see. But that's to see if we can win this race, because I'm not leading and I'm talking about upping the level, so we've really got to start thinking about winning this race first. So let's try and chase down the leader. Here we go. Right, let's try and get a nice line through this corner. Let's try and get nice and tight into this corner and try and get a good drive. Also, guys, I haven't adjusted the settings on the bike since the last race. The settings suited this circuit as well. But if I do adjust the bike, I will always show you what I've adjusted. So if you play this game and if it works for me, then you know what I've adjusted to make it a little bit better. Let's see if we can get past this guy here, and we're into first. Brilliant. So we're in the lead in this championship race. Let's see if we can hold it now. Let's try and settle down and start putting some laps, fast laps in. So we've got about 1.5 laps to go. See if we can get put a faster time in. Let's try and get nice and tight into this corner. These couple of corners here I was finding quite challenging in qualifying. So you have to slow down, and it's just hard to get speed. Sometimes I ran it wide a couple of times and then slid off the bike, which was a bit annoying, but hopefully I can just be aware of that. Especially this is the one I came off at least 2 or 3 times in qualifying, especially when you've got other bikes going up the inside of you. At that slow speed, and when you're trying to accelerate away, I did find that I kept on sliding off the bike. But let's just try and keep a lead here. Hopefully that won't happen. See if we can get to the end of this second lap with a bit of a gap, if we can, going into the final lap. But in the next race, guys, we're going first person. That's going to be interesting. I haven't driven in first person on this game yet, so there's going to be a different experience, and whether I can win the race in that sort of viewing, and I don't know, we could be falling off left, right and centre, but we're going to give it a go. A few of you have requested for me to do it, so I thought, why not? Before we up the level to realistic, we better try it, at least try it. So let's see if we can just finish this race off, and then let's see what it's like. But let's see what the gap is, looking at the split time. Oh, we're 2.7 seconds in the lead, so we're doing all right. We knew once we got away, we definitely had the pace in qualifying. I mean, I'm still surprised I was that quick, because the races in the last championship race were quite close, and but some of these circuits I'm finding really, you know, not too bad. I can really go around them pretty quickly. Even after a few laps, I was getting quite close to the fastest time set. So yeah, it didn't take long for me to pick up the speed. But let's see if we can just finish this off now. We've only got half a lap to go. Just try and slow it down through here. Don't want to go wide and come off. Oh God, almost went wide. So tricky to slow it down around those corners. I'm finding just to use the front brake when you go into those tight corners, and not so much the back brake, because you go a little bit tighter in. Plus, if you use the brake when you're in the air, it does affect the bike as well for some reason. try and get nice and tight into this corner, coming into the end of this race, and see if we can beat our lap time. I don't think we're going to, but we're going to get a victory. Awesome. So we win the first race of this championship in Argentina. Now we go into the second race, and we're going to be racing on first person view. This is going to be really interesting. Let's get straight into it, and let's see if we can get another win. So here we go. Right, so here we go with the second race. Let's see if we can get a better start than we did in the first race. Plus, we're going to be in first person, so we're going to hopefully get in the lead, because this is going to be really weird. I haven't ridden in this view yet, so this is going to be a little bit strange. Oh, damn, I dumped it a little bit late again. And we're miles behind. We've gone right to the back of the grid, and this really does look different. This is going to feel a little bit strange going over the jumps. Let's see if we can go just around the outside here. We're in P9, P8. Can we get around the side of this bike here? God, it's going to be really strange doing the jumps in this view. Oh my God, looking behind. Oh, it looks really good though. Oh, actually, I do like this view. I'm not sure whether I'd do loads of races in this view, but I might just do it now and again. I know there's a few of you guys that wanted to see it, and yeah, this feels really different. Let's just hope I don't fall off or crash out too much in this view, but I'm going to give it my best. But I've fallen behind already. I'm in, well, I've just lost another place there, P5. But this is a little bit more challenging, knowing how to turn the corners. It just gives you a different sense of riding on the motocross bike in this view. Let's just try and get around it. It definitely throws you out when you're going over the jumps. It does feel really different, and you can't see as well as you come down, and you can't see your wheels at all, so you can't see whether your back end slipping, and you can't really see much of the front really. Not like some motorbike games, but. Let's see if we can get to the end of this first lap, and see if we can start catching the leaders. We're in P5, we're not miles away, but this has definitely been not a bad experience so far, and we've managed to take a place there. Oh God, almost went straight into the boards. Oh God, that could have been a bit embarrassing, but we managed to get round that corner, come on to the end of the first lap, and we're in fourth. This hasn't been too bad. That was a little bit better than I expected. I thought I'd really struggle in this view, but we are losing a bit of time. We need to catch up with the front three. We want to try and at least get in the top 2 or top 3 in this race, in this view. We still want to get some decent points in this championship, because after this race we're putting it on realistic, and it's going to be so much harder. Let's just try and get over this jump. And I'm definitely not going to try one of those jumps in this view. Not yet anyway. I might do it in qualifying if I do it in this view. And I managed to get through there. I managed to take 2 places in that corner, and I'm up to P2. Brilliant. Let's chase down Hurlings, who's in front. Let's see if we can catch him up. He's going really, really well actually. I'm not sure he was one of the front runners in qualifying either, but he's managed to shoot away in this race. Let's get nice and tight into this. But I'll tell you what, since I've been playing this game, I've watched a few videos of motocross on YouTube. I'll tell you what, it's a very exciting sport to do. I mean, I've done a few track days because I've got a motorbike myself. I've got a Fireblade, but and I had a motorbike, a motocross bike when I was a kid. I had a TS. I think it was a 125, but it was I think I had it bored out to a 175. We used to take it to the local motocross track before they closed it down. I used to love it. I'd love to do it as a competitive sport, but it is also has a lot of injuries in it, because you do get a lot of crashes, and you get quite often you see riders get ridden over and crashed on. But yeah, it's definitely an exciting sport to watch, and it has made me want to watch it. Actually, it's quite entertaining. I mean, I've always followed MotoGP, British Superbikes and all that, but I might start watching this as well. You know, it's funny what playing a game does to you. Let's see if we can get him on there. We've got a good drive around the corner. Can we go into the lead? Oh my God, we're in the lead on first person view. No, Hurlings is taking the lead again. He's not going to let me win it. No. Oh God, that was close. I just felt him make a slight contact there. I thought he was going to crash out. But we just managed to take the lead again. That was a really challenging corner there. Let's see if we can just pull away. And it's only just behind me. But I've settled down in this view quite well, I think. It is definitely a little bit more challenging than than the chase view. But it also gives you a better realistic look of what it's like, which is always a good thing. Oh, took that a little bit too tight. See, that's the only thing I'm finding in this view, is just knowing how to take some of the tighter corners. but because you can't see as much as you turn, you have to get a really good angle. But we're coming towards the end of this race now, and we're just managing to stay in the lead. Let's try and hold off Hurlings behind us, and can we take another victory? And we've managed to pull a half a second gap. But this has been a brilliant experience so far, and I haven't fallen off yet, which is an absolute bonus for my first time in this view. But we're definitely going to mix it up in our career walkthrough, maybe do the odd race in this view, and we take another victory. Awesome. So that's 2 victories in today's video in 2 different views. But starting from next race, we're going to be on realistic. So I can't see myself running away with any races on that level. We're just going to keep on adding the difficulty. So we're going to quickly, after this, we'll just check our points in that, and then we're going to jump in and see what's next and quickly change the level. So here we go. Right, so that's the circuit for the next race in part 7. I'm just going to quickly go in the options, and from now on we are going to be on realistic. Plus, I'm going to turn all the rewinds off as well for the next race. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon for some more MXGP2. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.